So I think it's time that we introduce the man himself. So can we get a round of applause for Maleek Berry? Louder, let's keep it going, Hey.
Evening, everyone.
Hey, come on. My G, okay.
Yeah.
Clapping boys are in the house, okay.
Done, no.
Come on. All right, so Maleek Berry, how far now?
I did.
Yes, so, okay, we seen this documentary that's illustrated a bit of your background, and I think it's important that a lot of these people have come here, not that they don't understand your journey, but you know, me and you will be talking about things, and we're gonna try and share some of the relationships and the things that we talk about for you guys. You started making Afrobeats, was it in 2011? In
2010.
10, okay, my bad.
2010.
Yeah.
I was making like hip hop and like we wasn't even calling it Afrobeats then. We was just calling it, I don't even know what we was calling it. We was just calling it music. And I got introduced to a then young David O. And he was real young then, and I got introduced to him by this girl who used to go to my uni, who happened to be his cousin, and she was like, "Yeah, man, I've got this. My cousin, he's a producer, he's an artist, he's a writer just like you, and you should meet him." And when I got connected with David O, he was the one that started telling me that, "Yo, listen, our music is gonna blow, our music is gonna pop off. You need to start switching off all this R&B stuff that you're making and start making some Naija music." And I don't know, like I was a bit, obviously I grew up in London, I don't really know how I'm gonna make this kind of music, but hey, I tried, I started and here we are today, right?
But like I know, the Niger parents are not having anything musical. It's
Yeah.
a straight education.
Yeah. So obviously African, obviously Nigerian to be precise. Obviously my mom wanted me to be a doctor. My dad wanted me to be an engineer. But I had my own plans. And the thing with me is I've always known what I wanted to do. I made a deal with my parents. I said, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to university. I'm gonna study a practical subject that I can use later on in life, which was computer science, and they agreed. So I did that, graduated, and the deal was as soon as I graduate, I hand them my certificate and I go about my business. And I did exactly that. As soon as I graduated, got my 2-1, said, "Hey, mommy, daddy, oh yeah, take," and I was on my business. And my mom was always supportive. My dad is very like, by the book, like, "Yo, you need to go to school. You need to go and read. But dad, is this reading making any money?" That's what it is at the end of the day, right? So I had my plan, and I guess I was just resilient with it,
But I remember that you had a situation where you got a job in your field. Or what happened with that when it kind of like, you got a job and then you lost it?
Yeah. So basically, as soon as I came out of uni, I didn't want to do like a full 9 to 5, because obviously I wanted to make music, and believe it or not, like the creation like process is very time consuming. Like you hear these songs, these amazing songs, and you think it's just like, oh yeah, there's some songs that could get created in like 30 minutes or whatever, but it was very time consuming. So I made a decision to get a part-time job, and a job that wasn't as demanding, and I ended up working in Gap. So I was working in Gap, folding jeans. Big up to anybody who's worked in Gap before. So I worked in Gap for like about a year and a couple months. And again, I had a plan, I had a plan not to work there for more than 2 years. And like I just met so much resistance, man. I had like, friends that I went to uni with and everything, coming to buy clothes. Yo, Maleek, can you get my size, please? Like, and here's me. I've got a computer science degree, and I'm chasing this dream of music or whatever. But I kept at it, and like I said, I didn't want to stay in Gap for more than 2 years. So towards the end, I ended up getting a job in my field. So I got a software testing job. It was in North London somewhere. Really nice job, really nice pay. I had a plan. I was going to work there for like 6 months. Then I was just going to say, you know, sort of to my manager and go full time with the music. But after a month, I got made redundant. And you know what? Like, you say, I was happy. I was like, yo, this is a sign from God. You know, this is divine. I wasn't meant to do this. So I took the redundancy pay. I remember at the time, I was only supposed to get like £500. And I remember like the bosses, they called me back into the office and they were like, look, I believe in you. I don't know what it is about you, but I know you're going to be something. And they gave me like an extra £1,400 on top of whatever. And at the time, that was like $1 million to me. So I just took the money and ran and, you know, invested in equipment, and I just started the grind.
Yeah, that sounds like a testimony right there, you know.
Hallelujah.
Amen. But see, that's even with that. So after that point happens, what do you tell your parents now? Like, how do you tell them, okay, look, I tried this. At that point, did you go full into music, or?
Yeah. So as soon as I got made redundant and I left that job, music full time, and it was still. My dad was still a bit. My mom always, I don't know. My mom's like a dreamer, like me, you know. So she lets a lot of things slide. So I was just grinding, man. Every day I was in my room making like 5 beats a day. I'd wake up like 6 a.m, grind, go to bed at like 3 a.m. So I was only getting like 3 hours sleep every single day. Then things started to change for me when I took a family holiday to Nigeria in 2011. And obviously I'd already linked up with Davido the year before that. I already got connected with him. And when I went out there, I went to stay with his family for about 3 weeks. And I had a plan. So, you know, I stayed with them and I got to, you know, soak up the industry out there. And through him, I met so many people. I was producing on his album at the time, on his first album. I met Wizkid through him. I met Wande Cole through him. I met so many people. And from there, that's when things just started to, you know, I was ready. I was prepared.
Now, this is the funny thing that I think about when I hear your story, is that it feels like it's always, you're always planning ahead. Like you have a goal book, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So yeah, I picked up this habit when I was in uni. Every year I write down my goals. 1 year goals, 3 year goals, and 10-year goals. I've just recently started writing down 20-year goals as well. So every year, every 3 months, I revise those goals. And if I don't hit a particular goal, I cross it out and I write a bigger goal. And I built that habit, you know. So every stage of my life is, I say it's premeditated, you know. But obviously, this is life, man. This is real life. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know, like, you have these big dreams. You never know if you're gonna hit these targets. You never know what you're gonna achieve. But hey, man, we're here, right?
Yeah, indeed. Now, YouTube's obviously been a big part of your success. Look at this guy.
Oh my gosh. This is, oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Somebody's trying to FaceTime me. How about that? Yeah, so like you said, YouTube has played a major part in my career. Like I said, I studied computer science, so from young I've been a geek. Believe it or not, I may look all rock starred out, but I'm a geek at heart. And I remember, you know, when I first started uploading my videos, it was like 2007, 2008, something.
We got some of them on the wall back there. Like
man. I started to like. I've been building up my content for a long time, and you know, YouTube has played a major part in just the whole platform and having the opportunity to be able to expose my music or spread my music to so many millions of people. Obviously, I've had times where I was only getting like 4,000 views, 2,000 views, and that's a lot of views for some people. Sorry guys. I don't mean to sound snobby. I don't mean to sound like a slob, but yeah, you know, I've put out videos before, you know, but everything changed, and you know, it was my birthday last year, August 11th. I put out a particular video called Control, and all right. Okay. I put out a particular video on YouTube called Control, and literally like under a month it hit 1 million views. And it's so crazy because ever since then, most of my videos have been consistently hitting 1 million views in just about a month. You know, and I've just basically taken that fire and just reproduced it. Now Control's on like maybe 40 million now. I don't even know.
Crazy.
Is it 40 million? I don't know. So 40 million or something like that. And yeah, man, it's just been an amazing platform. You know, I've got video blogs on there. I've got like, you know, behind the scenes footage, and it's just surreal to just be in the YouTube space with all of these like amazing people and sharing my story and just sharing vibes with you guys, man. You know, it's a blessing.
Wait, who in here seen Control? Okay. Now listen. So when you did that video, I remember that. I wasn't there, but I remember the whole preparation for that. When you did it, did you know it was going to kick off like it did? Did you know that was going to take off?
No. You know what? Anything I do musically, I never really know what's going to happen. Like I just create, and I always pray before I release my stuff, believe it or not. But yeah, I never really knew what it was going to do. Me and my director, Meji, big up Meji, I sent him, like I had this image in my head for months, like pastel colors and like beautiful women in like colorful bikinis and African prints and palm trees, this whole pop art kind of visual. And I sent him like a bunch of mood boards, and he came back with that video treatment and came up with the Control visual, you know, that we have today, that a lot of people have been trying to bite, but you know, it's all good.